Welcome into All Things LA Real Estate. My name is PK Knoll. We're heading out to Silver Lake Echo Park for your September real estate update. Two of the most desirable neighborhoods you can live in on the east side. They sit basically between downtown and Hollywood. If you take Sunset Boulevard through the pier, if you can get into these neighborhoods, do it. I lived out in Silver Lake for 8 years. Beautiful spot. We're going to run through all of the numbers, tell you everything you need to know, month over month, year over year. End of the video, we're going to break down a few homes that have caught my eye and see if we can find some value in the neighborhood. Let's go. Checking in on Silver Lake and Echo Park. Few numbers are kind of jumping off at us when we look at things. As far as for sale available right now, inventory issues, just like everywhere across Los Angeles, essentially everywhere across the country. We're just not, too many people have interest rates below 6%. So when interest rates are 7.5%, 8%, it makes it very tough for people to sell. We're at 61 homes available for sale. Of those 61, we've seen 16 of those homes do price drops, so 26%. If you're not following along with all of the monthly updates, you might be surprised to find out that's actually kind of low in comparison with a lot of the neighborhoods on the east side. Many of the neighborhoods are dealing with 30+% price drops. Normal real estate market, that's a big red flag to have price drops. In this market, it's just just a constitute of the times. There's not enough buyers out being able to purchase these high ticket price homes. The minimum price to get in the neighborhood right now is $779,999. Maximum top end $4.489 million. That is a home that is very familiar to me and you if you're following along with these Silver Lake Echo Park updates. We'll talk about that at the end of the video. Average home price right now in the neighborhood, $1.726, $383. Days on the market's at 55, which is getting right to that danger zone, right? We talk about this a ton. Typically, between 30 and 45 is where you'll see the days in the market for the homes that are on there, right? Between a month, month and a half. When it gets to 60, when it gets to 2 months, sellers start getting weary. They start getting ready to sell their home. We're at 55 right now, so we're right on that cusp. So my expectation is that as we get into the winter months, we might see more price drops coming. Something to keep your eye on if you're interested in possibly making a move before the end of the year out in Silver Lake. You need to get with an agent now. If you need help with that, reach out to me. I'm happy to help. But let's take a quick look into September of 2022, where we had 33 homes sell at 106% clip, so 6% over the list price. That's a very important number if you're a homeowner out in the market to keep your eye on. It's one of the key factor points is what are the homes selling over the list price. They're typically going to be, priced at the competitive levels that are selling at the time. And if you see those 6% overs, that means there is still demand, meaning your home is probably still appreciating. Obviously, there's other factors that affect that, like home price drops, but it's something to keep your eye on. We'll see how things look. But let's get into last month, see what happened in August out in Silver Lake and Echo Park. As we dive into the numbers from last month, what we saw out in Silver Lake and Echo Park is we actually saw 29 homes sell at 103% clip. So we're not necessarily, matching that 6% over list price that we saw in September of 2022. We're at 3% over. So there is still some demand over that list price. On the minimum side, we had a home sell for $325K. It sold for $74K under the list price. It was listed for $399. Let's be real. We talked about this home in previous updates. You're not getting into Silver Lake or Echo Park for $399,000. It was a complete teardown, rebuild, but they did get a sale in on that one. Maximum side, $3.6 million. It sold for $105K over the list price. So what that tells me is there is still some demand on the upper echelon side of Silver Lake. That's usually closer to where the top end is in the mid to high, 3 millions. And this one sold for $105K over the list price. So it was listed for $3,495, sold for $3.6. So there is some interest, some demand, probably a cash buyer. We have seen in recent months setting some records with 33% of homes being cash buyers. That is because financing, for a lot of these neighborhoods in Los Angeles is just inconceivable at 7.5%, 8% for most people. That's why a lot of the cash buyers are the ones snatching up these houses. Average home sale price last month was $1.569, $695. So just a smidge under $1.6 million. Pretty average for what we've seen in Silver Lake Echo Park this year. Days on market was 35. That's pretty high, actually. in regards to homes that sell. Usually you see things jumping up earlier, but we have homes that have been sitting for a while. Like I said, that number has just been slowly creeping up on us. We're going to definitely keep our eye on it. So if you're interested in staying up on this market, just subscribe to the video. We come off this every single month for Silver Lake and all kinds of neighborhoods. We look into August of 2022, 34 homes sold, 101% clip. So that's a 15% decline year over year. Not too bad. We're going to live with that. Most neighborhoods on the east side are seeing, in the 30% on the year over year decline. We're probably going to see year over year declines for the rest of the winter, but we'll keep an eye on that as well. Let's go see if we can find some value in the neighborhood and homes that have caught my eye. Homes that have caught my eye. We're going to break down the entry level. What's it take from a minimum perspective if you're adamant you want to live out in Silver Lake Echo Park? I advise it. Great areas. Then we're going to look at PK's top pick. In today's market, that play is always going to be a financial play. You need to find a home that's got good value, strong financials, and has an opportunity to appreciate, because you can't go underwater if you're somebody who's looking to finance a home in this market. And then we're going to take a peek at the top end, see what the big dogs look like in the neighborhood. So let's start off with our entry-level position. One note, the house we were tracking these past couple months in Benton, the house that was sitting around since the middle of March, luckily does now have a pending sale on that, so that's off the market. Though, if you're familiar with the real estate game, pending means nothing. A lot of things can go wrong in the process, but hopefully that home gets off the market and gets moving. Our new low in Echo Park, 312 North Mountain View Avenue, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, 965 square feet. So 3 bedrooms for 965 is, typically that's a 2-1, but it's listed for $779, $999, so just under $780K, $808 per square foot. Typically want that number in the 7s or the 6s, preferably 5s or the 4s. 808, not the worst, probably a little bit additive because, like I said, it does have that kind of odd third bedroom for the square footage size. Not a huge lot, 2160. This home sits on that kind of south side of Echo Park, near Echo Park Lake. And might I say, what a great job they had done renovating and fixing up Echo Park Lake. You still get a little bit of the homeless on the north side, but it's not anywhere near it was, maybe 12, 18 months ago. Beautiful lake, great little spot to run around, take the swans out for a date. Nice little lake there. But let's jump over to my top pick. Did want to note that 770 North Hyperion, my top pick. If you want to go back and watch the August real estate update for Silver Lake Echo Park, that's that home that was kind of sitting there. I said we have probably as far as value goes, maybe 100, maybe even 200K cushion. It's still available, so check that out if you're somebody that's looking. I think there's some value there from a financial side of things, but we're going to go with 2680 Ivanhill Terrace this month. It's a 3 bedroom, 3 bath, 2598 square feet, listed for 1.479 million, so just under 1.5. 569 per square foot. That's a beautiful number. Like I said, I love the 4s and 5s, especially for a home at the 1.5 range. So we're getting good bang for our buck there with the 2598 square footage on this. The lot is one of the biggest you will find in all of Silver Lake and Echo Park available for sale right now. It's at 8486, so you got some room. This home sits just north of the reservoir and those kind of like top end as you're sneaking up to like Myra and all that kind of stuff. It is a remodel or rebuild. So if you were just getting super excited, you're ready to move in, let me just, stop you real quick and say, hey, you're going to have to, really do some renovations here, fix this one up. But to get into this neighborhood, here's the deal. 1.5 million is essentially what it's sale for. If you look at a comp right down the street, 3-1, 1300. We're at 3-3, 2598. This is a 3-1, 1300. That home sold for 2.9 million. So almost double what we are listed at. And if you look at the neighborhood, look at the sales this year in this direct neighborhood, 2.8, 2.8, 3.8, 2.5. So every home is listed at least $1 million and sold over at this house. So there's opportunities here. If you know what you're doing and you get an opportunity to build up your home, do the renovations, you might want to be very cautious if you've never done something like this before. Get with a great contractor, get multiple opinions from a lending and a contract, position. You never want to get one person's advice and just go with them. It's always my advice in the real estate game. but there's some certain value. You go in and make the correct renovations to this home, you will certainly get huge appreciation. Like I said, the lot is humongous, so you can easily turn this home into a $3 million home. I have no doubt about it. And that's why it's my value. Top pick in the neighborhood, maybe on the east side if you're willing to go for a non-key ready, home in that aspect. But let's jump over to the top dog and finish things up. Couple things to note here. 1321 Edge Clip. That was that duplex that we talked about a little bit in last month's update. That one's been canceled. We had some concerns with the numbers. That is what it is. The top dog right now is 4.489. That is an old friend of ours. That is the 2512 Berkeley. That's that dual residency that sits in my old neighborhood. We've talked about this one a lot. We're not going to go back to it. Check back to the July real estate update for Silver Lake Echo Park. I broke down that place. It's beautiful. It's in the neighborhood I used to live in for 8 years. Incredible neighborhood up off Sunset Boulevard, basically between Sunset and Silver Lake. You can literally walk down to the dog park, the reservoir, the basketball court, the community center down there. But that's an investment property more. So we're going to move on to a little bit more of a conventional single family residence, and we're going to jump to 2157 Moreno Drive, 5 bedrooms, 4 baths, 3,461 square feet, listed for just under $4 million at 3.999, 1155 per square foot. You get to the high end in the nice neighborhoods above $2 million. The per square footage number mentality changed. It's usually at like 1,000. So 1155, a tad high, but it's not bad. It's not terrible. This is a beautiful home. The lot size is pretty solid, 7,024, right? We look back at PK's top pick, has 1,400 more square feet for the lots than this home here, even for $4 million. But the views here at this house are incredible. One thing that's really tough in a lot of the neighborhoods, this one sits off the west side of the reservoir. So it's up off that back side. You go up Silver Lake, there's the reservoir up off that west side. One thing that's tough in those neighborhoods for the east side, somebody who loves being outdoors, who likes to swim, is getting a pool, and this one has one. So it's tough to just get the permits to be able to put a pool in because of, most of those homes being on the sides of hills. So this one gives you that opportunity. So beautiful home. We'll keep our eyes on it. I'll keep you updated in next month's update to see where this one goes. But, good value. I like it. Thank you so much for watching the video. We do this every single month for almost every neighborhood on the east side. We're doing Pasadena, Silver Lake, Eagle Rock, Highland Park, Glendale, La Cañada, El Sereno, Cypress Park. The list goes on and on. So like and subscribe to the channel if you are so inclined. If you're somebody who's looking to purchase a home on the east side of Los Angeles or sell your home, I am happy to help out with you. Reach out to me. You can send me a direct message online, or all of my phone numbers are listed. Even if you're somebody who's hesitant with 7% interest rates, that puts us in the same boat. It always helps to start preparing for future opportunities because you don't want to miss the boat there. We will tread lightly. We will look for value. We will get it done. I also do a ton of other videos. I get into the schools. I get into, the restaurants in the neighborhood. I get into the attractions in the neighborhood. I do some other fun videos like Quick Cribs. So once again, like and subscribe if you are so inclined. Have a great day. Be kind. Yeah. Eric.